This is Luke, and I'm Lori, and we want to take you on a journey. Last week you saw the LAHAKAI splash in the water, and now we have to get this empty steel sailboat ready to take her first voyage down south to continue her construction. We have lots of help getting her ready, lots of challenges to face, and lots of excitement to come. So don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and ring that bell to keep the journey alive. Welcome to the LAHAKAI. Nobody wants to help you.
Oh, splash day.
I was gonna say, it's not a spoon, it's a boat. Beep, beep. See you in Navegantes. Ciao. So Ben is paddling away into the sunset in our second-hand aluminum dinghy. It's said to be unsinkable. We also got this used 15 horsepower outboard motor that has been sitting unused for a while. We planned on fixing it up and selling it again when we arrive, but first we need to change a couple parts. Now that we got it running, let's try it out.
Easy. Well, I'm not saying it.
You might be thinking right now, that crew looks a little familiar. That's because we are surrounded by some pros that have been giving us a helping hand when we needed it the most.
This word in Brazil, it's the first word I learned, is gambiarra.
Every day there is a new gambiarra.
Gambiarra.
Alright, now that we got this motor running, let's use it to move the LAHAKAI to her spot, where she will remain while we prepare her for her voyage ahead. I think you're just doing loops for fun now. Uh-oh. Going in for impact. Aquino.
The only thing is missing is an anchor. Okay, you could just anchor anywhere. Yeah. Just a little. No.
So how do we prepare this boat to travel? Let's start with the floor. We are taking apart this wood box we used during construction and repurposing it for covering up the floor to make it safe for moving around the inside of the boat. These are high quality floor from Merlin. We bought it by the meter. It has this rustic appeal to it. That's what they sold us on. It was really something more natural, really something organic, really a feng shui feel, if you will. I think this is going to last many years. At least that's what the salesman said. With the floor in, we could start installing some necessary items like 2 bilge pumps on either side of the keel that are hooked up to a 12-volt car battery. We also moved in some items that would work as ballast like construction equipment, cans, and our lithium batteries, and also other boat equipment. Required lighting was installed like navigation lights on the bow and also the mast. Our VHF radio was plugged in and tested out. Then we bought this used generator to charge the battery if needed or in case of emergency. It worked fine when we bought it, but afterwards we just couldn't get it to start.
Unfortunately, couldn't get this thing to make a noise, at least not the noise we wanted. So very kindly, the guy who sold it is accepting it back, and it's just before closing time of the hardware store.
Our last-minute run to the store might have cost us a little more, but you can't put a price on safety.
What's this?
Bigger generator that we bought at the store. It doesn't come with a manual because it's the show one. They didn't have anything else.
It'll work. Last words. This will decide if you go sailing tomorrow, so it better work. It's okay. Okay. Was that on? No, you leave it on choke. Okay. Happy?
Did you notice earlier pieces of wood on the upper deck? That's because we started cutting out some scrap pieces to board up all the windows and hatches leading to the cabin for the trip. We didn't want to install any permanent windows because we intended to sandblast the interior when we arrive at the new location. So we didn't want to have to remove it all again and risk damaging the plexiglass. Black paint is not necessary at all, but we had a couple of cans lying around and thought it would give her a little class for her maiden voyage. It was important to install the wood panels without having to drill any holes in the steel. We then decided to use Sikaflex to adhere the wood onto the exterior, and we would then use supports on the inside to clamp and secure the windows shut. When we were ready, we closed off all 17 openings, making this tin can just a little hotter in the Brazilian sun. Then we made sure to go back over and fill in any gaps with plenty of marine grade Sikaflex. It's not pretty, but it got the job done. We're sure you can see how that high quality black paint really took her to the next level. Speaking about next level, in just the nick of time, our completed boom finally arrived. If you want to hear how we converted this boom from an old mast, check out episode 9.
First reaction.
Relief. I'm too tired to cry, so it would have to just be.
And with the boom in place, we could start installing the rigging. We were able to restore 3 out of 7 original sails that came with the boat: the mainsail, the genoa, and a storm sail. We first passed the topping lift line to secure the boom while the sail was being installed. We then passed all the reefing lines through the boom and prepared them on the mast. This is when those access windows we had cut in our custom boom came in handy. We want to thank you, our subscribers and our patrons, for being the fuel that make these adventures happen. Your support enables us to bring you more videos like this one. The mainsail was then placed onto the track and lifted for testing.
What are those bubbles?
We'll get it later. There was no wind on this day, so we could fully open our sails and see how the LAHAKAI looked in all her glory. All the rigging was thoroughly tested, including the 6 stoppers we had installed. The lines were also inspected since they were new. Next, we rolled out the genoa. It was installed onto the track and lifted up. We were able to salvage the original roller furling system on the boat. It was pretty old, but it certainly got the job done. There was so much to prepare for. We bought food, a small gas stove, several headlamps, and a hanging light, and lots of water. We brought a hammock and some mats to put on the floor, some pillows, and a couple of sleeping bags. Our power banks were fully charged, our electronics ready to go, and our tools prepped for any emergency.
Hey all, so we are
currently packing up our old apartment. And we also had all our worldly possessions. Because not only were we moving this boat, but we were also moving our entire lives as well. We were leaving Rio de Janeiro and moving to where the boat was going. Not just as passengers, but as a united team with one goal in mind, to finish the job we started.
É,
Alright,
o
let's
bait tá
flip
certo.
it.
Infelizmente o bait tá certo.
Flip it like this. Okay. And so hold it, and then I'll go with this. No.
Don't worry, I got it all on camera.
So walk. Alright.
Soldado em cima pra poder soldar na borda.
I don't know if it's getting better or getting worse.
Wait.
Tinha por baixo, isso. Cada volta, o Roberto tem que dar a volta do Roberto.
Okay.
I think this is really the way to go, babe. We just have a bunch of guests. They do all the work.
Don't invite me, as you can tell. Just sit here. Just too many people for the same thing.